And welcome to quarterfinal action here at Omaha Bryan High School as we get set for kickoff between the Gross Catholic Cougars and the York Dukes. We thank you all for tuning in. Joey Kirkland alongside me, Austin Ulmer. And Austin, both of these teams with a lot of momentum entering tonight. The Cougars still sporting that perfect record, 10-0, while the Dukes 7-3 on a 5-game winning streak after opening the year 2-3.
Yeah, most definitely. It's going to be a good one tonight, Joey. And we're going to see two balanced offenses, especially from this York Dukes team. They like to throw the ball, they like to run the ball, and they're going to mix it up a lot. And we had the opportunity to talk to Gross's coach, Tom Van Hout, this morning, and he kind of talked about how he plans on stopping that well-balanced offense. And I asked him if he was going to focus more on stopping the run, focus more on stopping the pass, and he said they're going to try to take care of both. We'll see if they can do that tonight, Joey.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough mission, and the hardest guy to stop is going to be number 11, Ryan Sievers, the quarterback. Just under 1,300 yards in the air and 9 touchdowns on the year, but also another 380 yards on the ground. This is the definition of a dual-threat quarterback, a guy that can do it in the air and on the ground. He's going to be a big threat for the Gross defense.
Yeah, and I asked Coach Van Hout about how they plan on stopping him with his scrambling abilities, and he said he plans on having a couple linebackers there to spy on him to make sure he's not getting out of the pocket, not scrambling around too much. They're going to be keeping an eye on him and make him throw the ball downfield.
And looking at this Cougar team, we mentioned they're 10-0, still perfect on the year, coming off that big win over Mount Michael, 49-0, a shutout victory led by the quarterback Colby Duncan, 209 yards in the air and 2 touchdowns, another 79 yards on the ground, and then Jake Garcia, 99 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. Just a great all-around performance on the offensive and defensive end.
Yeah, just excellent performance. And we asked Coach about Colby Duncan this morning about the great game he said. And he said he did an excellent job of making those reads and taking what the defense was giving him, making the proper read, and deciding if he needed to run, and he made some excellent passes. And then, of course, we saw that excellent catch from Weston Miller last week, which he talked about as well and said it was just an incredible catch.
Absolutely. I think, like you said this morning, kind of replicating Odell Beckham Jr. on that catch. Just
right.
Unbelievable play, reeling it down. If you hadn't seen it, I recommend going back and watching a replay of that catch. Just a great grab. But, yeah, you talked about how it's a team that can do a little bit of everything. You talked about the balanced offenses, and I don't think it gets more balanced than this Gross Cougars offense. Colby Duncan, 1,375 passing yards. Jake Garcia, 1,386 rushing yards.
That's right.
Actually, 9 more yards on the ground for Garcia than Duncan has in the air. But both guys just exceptional players on this offense. Duncan, not a guy that's going to air it out a ton because of the dangerous run attack they have, but extremely efficient. A smart quarterback, takes care of the ball, 15 touchdowns in the air to just 2 picks. This is a smart, disciplined, Gross team.
Yeah, and for Duncan, we saw him run the ball quite a bit last week. He had a couple over 20-yard scrambles in that game last week against Mount Michael. So he is capable to make things happen with his legs, extend the plays, and get out there and run, and even run for a touchdown.
Yeah, finished the game with just under 80 rushing yards, and we're going to take a quick break here for the pregame prayer and national anthem. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in a minute.
Please cooperate with us in making this a great time by practicing good sportsmanship. Be proud and be loud, but please keep it respectful. At this time, we invite everyone to rise. Please remove your hats, gentlemen, and please stand for our opening prayer. Please remain standing at the conclusion of the prayer for the playing of our national anthem, performed this evening by the Cougar Band. Gross Catholic is a Catholic high school in the Marianist tradition, and as such, we begin all activities asking for God's blessing. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. God in heaven, we come before you tonight, and we give you thanks for your many blessings. May the actions of all here this evening, players and fans, always reflect your love for all people. Please keep all the athletes free from injury, and may they be strengthened in mind, body, and soul to do their best each day. Together we pray the Marianist doxology. May the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit be glorified in all places through the Immaculate Virgin Mary. Amen.
And back here at Omaha Bryan High School, ready to get started for this quarterfinal action. And we discussed how the Cougars got here with the 49-0 victory over Mount Michael, but for the Dukes, got here with a 21-7 victory over Seward. Gets them here, and tonight the winner will move on to the semifinals to face the winner of 3-seed Scotts Bluff and 6-seed Skutt, a Skutt team that the Cougars faced earlier this year with a 41-14 victory. Teams getting ready to take the field tonight. Austin, what are you looking for in this Cougar team tonight?
I think Coach Van Hout, he touched on this morning, and I think he made an excellent point. The senior leadership on this team. I expect the seniors on this team to really step up, provide the momentum to start things off. Last week we saw them against Mount Michael in that first quarter. Came out a little stagnant there, not a lot of energy and momentum going into it. But as the game went on, we know what happened. They ended up winning. Big win there in that one. But tonight, they're going to need to start out with a lot of momentum because this is a good York Dukes team, and it's a lot different than that Mount Michael team they faced last year, specifically on the defensive end. This York Dukes defense, the secondary, they force a ton of turnovers. They like to get out there, pick the balls off. They attack the football, and we're going to see that tonight. So Gross is going to have to be ready for that, this tough York defense.
Yeah, and you talked about kind of the leadership and the age and the experience on this Cougar team, and most notably on that offensive line. 4 of their players on the offensive line are seniors, are guys that have been in this circumstance before, and they're going to need to bring it because there's a big line on this Dukes team. There's a lot of size on this team, so the offensive and defensive lines are going to have their hands full. So the Dukes kick this one away. The Cougars will start with the ball. This one taking a roll in favor of the Cougars. That ball's going to go out of bounds. Back-to-back weeks where the opening kickoff to the Cougars rolls out of bounds. So yet again, good starting position, or field position to open the game.
Yeah, and we'll see how this offense for the Cougars starts off. Jake Garcia last week had a great game, and you talked about the offensive line, Joey, and they had an excellent game. The blocking was just incredible. Huge gaps for Garcia to run through in that game, and I expect him to do that here. But as we said, there's some big boys on that defensive line on this York Dukes defense.
So starting off at the 35-yard line, Duncan's going to hand this one off on first down. That's Garcia. Looks like a gain of 3 on the opening play.
Ball carried by Jake Garcia.
And Garcia, like you said, did have a big game, 99 yards, 3 touchdowns, but it was a slow start for him. Early in the game, they really did a good job limiting him, but they just kept feeding him. And like you said, the offensive line really able to give him opportunities. Second down handoff here, gets this ball just past the 40-yard line. Looking like a 3rd and 4 coming up after the handoff to Owen Brennan.
Yeah, this is interesting here to see if they're going to decide to throw it or to continue on with the run here. This is a big call right here.
It's 3rd and 3.
And this really is one where there's not a right or wrong answer because this is an offensive line and running back situation where you can put together 3 yards on the ground easily, as they do mark it as a 3rd and 3 here. Duncan in shotgun, looking like the option here. He's going to pitch this one back to Garcia. He's going to have the first down before going out of bounds just shy of the 50-yard line. Not a team you see running the option very often, but working exactly how they wanted right there.
Yeah, and a big pickup on the first down right there. That'll get that momentum going for you.
After the first down, it's Duncan in shotgun by himself. He's got 5 wide, looking to air this one out. Rolling to his right. He's going to stick with this, look to go on his feet before sliding just short of the 45-yard line, officially in Duke's territory. And you discussed Duncan had a lot of success on the ground last week, 79 yards running it. Did a great job being able to take off, have the recognition of not forcing any passes. Very smart quarterback. So it was a gain of 6 here. Ball at the 46-yard line. Fake the handoff. Low throw to Brennan. They will mark that as an incomplete pass. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, and when we talked to Coach Van Hout this morning, Joey, he talked about how this Duke's defense, they like to drop 4 back in coverage. So he said they were going to try to take advantage of that on the offensive end. Might see some of those little screens like we saw there. He did drop it, but eventually you expect to see a lot of those little screens running the ball quite a bit as they like to drop that secondary pretty deep back in coverage.
And another third down here, 3rd and 4, I formation, Duncan under center. He will give this one to Garcia. Pushing forward, it looks like he does have the first down.
Garcia, the ball carrier.
We talked about the size of this Duke's line, but Garcia and the offensive line, just a little too much force there, able to push it down and move the chains.
That's another first down for the Cougars.
I formation again for Duncan. This offense working quick as they always do. Hands this one off right away to the fullback.
Ball carried by Tommy Gilbert.
And that was Tommy Gilbert on the carry.
Building with the tackle at second down.
And they will call that a gain of 4 on first down. 9:45 to go in the opening quarter. Hand off to Garcia, this time to the right side of the field. He's going to get the first down and more at the 20, at the 10. Nobody stopping Jake Garcia, and we've got the opening touchdown of this game. Garcia, rushing touchdown on the season. That is his 18th on the ground.
And that's what we've seen all year from him, Joey. And right there, he just took off. No one near him, and another touchdown for Garcia on the year. What an incredible season.
Absolutely, and it seems like you give him any space to get comfortable and create a path, there's going to be no stopping him from that point on. Alex Cossey with the PAT. That one is good. 9:37 to go. Already a 7-0 lead for the Cougars. Had to deal with a few third downs. Got the conversion each and every time, sticking on the ground. And an early score here for the Cougars. We talked about how last week they weren't able to get that early touchdown. The first points of the game came with right around 30 seconds left in the first quarter, but a very different start to the night for Gross.
Yeah, great first drive for the Cougars, and that's the way you want to start things out. Now we'll see if York can answer back here on their first offensive drive in this game.
And looking at this matchup, the whole reason that the Dukes seem like they could be a big threat is because of that strong defense they have. This is an offense that's averaging 17 points a game, while the Cougars are averaging 42 points a game. So their defense is going to need to get it going, and the offensive end is going to have to show up if the Cougars show out like they usually do. So look to Ryan Sievers at quarterback and Seth Erickson on the ground to try and fuel this Duke team and be able to respond with whatever punches the Cougars throw.
Yeah, as you said, it's going to be tough for this York team to keep answering those scores every time they're on the field, and they're going to have to do that tonight if they want to come away with the victory.
So now it's Stephen Ginn kicking it off. Short kick, this one picked up at the 10-yard line. Trying to cut inside, taken down right at the 20-yard line.
Carter Stenger with the return.
Carter Stenger on the return.
Alex Cogswell and Ethan Lee on the tackle.
So we'll see what Ryan Sievers and this Dukes offense can do here at Omaha Bryan High School.
Yeah, and we talked about Ryan Sievers, his ability to run the ball, but also his throwing ability. This is a super balanced offense, and we'll see if they decide to do that here.
Look to be starting off in Wildcat. That's Seth Erickson in shotgun. Erickson picks up the snap going right up the middle. He might have picked up a yard on that first down play. Defense not fooled there.
No, they were all over that. Once they saw it was Wildcat, they were all over it.
Seth Erickson, the ball carrier, gain of 1.
And now we see the substitutions. And we do see Ryan Sievers taking the field now. They do give him a yard on the first down. Keeper for Erickson. 9 minutes to play in this first quarter. So Sievers in shotgun, Erickson to his right. Pitch this one back, a little misdirect there. Again, defense not fooled, taken down at the 15-yard line. Cougars all over him. Carter Stanger just nowhere to go.
So far, what a way to come out for this Cougars defense. Your offense puts up points, and this is what you need to do. And so far, this defense performing very well. Forcing a 3rd and 16, Joey.
And I think the past few games, a lot of their opponents have tried to bring out these misdirect plays, and I think the one word to describe the Cougars in those situations is just unfazed. So a 3rd and 16 here. 4 receivers out wide, 3 to his right. Already dealing with some pressure, but couldn't come down with the pass. Incomplete, and a 4th and 16. He was trying to find Stanger, really just had no time to think. Tommy Gilbert was all over the quarterback on that play, and it's a 4th and long.
Yeah, and York's going to have to be careful on this punt here. We've seen a couple punt blocks this year from this gross special teams defense, and we'll see what they can do here.
So now we'll check out the punter, Ryan Sievers. Looks to be Charlie Palladino back on the return. Sievers gets this one off, but that's a short punt. This one will bounce to the 44-yard line, but again, great field position here for the Cougars, starting off in Duke's territory.
Yeah, and if you're York, this is not the way you wanted to start this game off, Joey.
And right now, the Cougars just able to play their game. Defense going to create great field position, and the offense working on the ground. We talked about what Duncan's capable of doing in the air. He's an efficient, smart quarterback, but there are a lot of nights where he really doesn't have to do much with how strong the ground game is. We see him in shotgun on 1st down. Garcia to his right. Fakes the handoff to Garcia. Pass complete here to Owen Brennan. Brennan keeps pushing forward. He's got the 1st down and more, going down at the 30-yard line. So many players on this Cougar team just seem to be relentless receivers, never willing to go down on the first tackle.
By a quart of Dukes. 1st and 10.
Yeah, and if Gross can continue to pick up 1st downs like this, it's going to be a long night for this Dukes defense.
So ball marked at the 31-yard line. 1st down, he hands it off to Garcia, but the Dukes giving him nowhere to go. Looks like a gain of 2.
Garcia, the back tackled by Cadence Veldy. Gain of 2 at 2nd and 8.
And it's going to be big for the defensive line to do their best to limit Garcia. They'll be very happy if he's getting 2 yards a carry. So Duncan on 2nd and 8, 6:45 to go in the 1st quarter. Palladino in motion. Duncan hands this ball off. Garcia to the left side. Garcia's got room to get comfortable again, and that'll do it. Garcia already his 2nd rushing touchdown with 6:32 to go in the 1st quarter. It's a 13-0 lead.
Yeah, and Jake Garcia just having his way so far in this 1st quarter. No answers for this York defense, and already a 13-0 lead for the Cougars.
Garcia's had 2 plays where he's had room to get comfortable, get in stride, both going for touchdowns. So now back to Alex Cossey on the extra point. And that one is good. 14-0 your score. An early surge of offense from the Cougars. Going to be a tricky situation here for York. Going to have to get a response, put together a strong offensive drive, and try and get this team in a rhythm.
Yeah, and if you're the Dukes, you're going to want to collect yourselves, get some composure out there. It's still the 1st quarter, but you don't want this thing to get too far out of hand too early in this game, because we've seen what this gross offense is capable of already, specifically Jake Garcia.
Yeah, and this is a Cougar team that has gotten a lot of big leads, and they keep their foot on the gas till the very end. So you do not want to let up if you're the Dukes. And this situation can get overwhelming quick. You're going up against an undefeated team for a chance at a spot in the state semifinal game. You're in enemy territory. You got a loud crowd here. Have to have those seniors on the team that can keep the composure and handle this adversity. Again on kickoff duty. Another short kickoff, this one fair catch at the 20-yard line. That was Emmanuel Jensen on the catch.
For the Dukes, it's 1st and 10.
So Ryan Sears in the offense trying to get something going their way, look to move the chains a few times and put together a strong drive. Last drive, 3 plays. First 2 going for a loss of yards. Third one, an incomplete pass. Severs with Erickson to his left. The handoff on first down. Erickson absolutely stopped by the defensive line, seeming to run into a brick wall there.
Yeah, and if you're the Dukes, you're going to have to start throwing the ball because this gross defense, they're really stacking the box right now. As you can see, 4 linebackers out there. You're not going to be able to run the ball efficiently on this defense.
So Erickson taken down at the line of scrimmage on that first play. So here's Severs 5 wide. Gilbert gets through. Gilbert running behind him. Trying to get a pass off. He does. That one goes out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and 10 here for the Dukes.
Excellent defense. And how about Gilbert there breaking through the line, causing a bunch of pressure there, and nowhere for Severs to throw the ball, forced to throw it out of bounds.
And Tommy Gilbert, not the biggest guy, especially when you compare him to the matchup he has against that offensive line, but able to get through multiple times already in this game.
And he's quick on that edge there, Joey.
So another 3rd and long here for the Dukes. It's 3rd and 10, 5:42 to go in the first quarter. Severs has Erickson to his right. Shotgun formation. Trips right formation here. Quick dump off pass. Able to get this to the 25 before he's leveled. We have a loose ball. We'll see if he was down or not.
Pass complete to number 23, Seth Erickson.
And they will say he was down. So a short pickup there before a crushing hit from the Cougars.
Gain of 3, it's 4th and 6. Owen Brennan on the tackle.
So Erickson only gets a gain of 3. Owen Brennan getting the massive hit.
Yeah, and we'll see how Severs does on the punt here. The last one only went about 25, 30 yards, so see if he has a better punt here.
Punt for the Dukes.
And giving the Cougars that good field position to start, it's just been a recipe for disaster all season. Severs does get a lot more in it than the last one. Caught by Palladino. Able to work this one up to about the 47-yard line, just shy of the 50.
Charlie Palladino on the return.
And I was talking about the York secondary in pregame, Joey, but this is how you counter that York secondary. You just run the ball.
Exactly.
Cougars take over at the
And we heard Coach Van Hout talking about how he expects them to go on the ground a lot. Now, part of the reason he was saying that was potential weather conditions we might be seeing, which luckily rain stopped at around noon today. Doesn't seem to be an issue. But still, that ground attack has been very real here for the Cougars. So starting off at the 47-yard line, Duncan's going to look to air this one out. Trying to find Jackson Drake. Couldn't come down with it. Garrett Ivy with the good coverage there.
Yeah, excellent coverage there by Garrett Ivy. He was all over Drake there.
And Ivy been one of the best players on this team. He's their leader in receiving yards and receptions. Also 3 interceptions on the season. And right there, Duncan looking for Jackson Drake. And Drake was a name we were talking about a lot last week. Had 104 yards on the ground, or in the air, 104 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Hand off to Garcia here, and Garcia with room. Doesn't look like anyone's going to catch him. It's a 53-yard touchdown. He's already matched last week's total, 3 rushing touchdowns, and we've still got 4:33 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, and Garcia scored almost every time he's touched the ball, Joey. unstoppable force for this Cougars team. And wow, we've seen that all year long, and I'm still amazed every time when he breaks those runs.
Now 20 total rushing touchdowns on the year for Jake Garcia. An unbelievable senior season he is having. Cossey on the extra point. That one good. 21-0 your score. The Cougars taking over early in this quarterfinal matchup.
2-0.
And once again, what a performance. Got to give credit to this offensive line of the Cougars. The way they're blocking out there, this is a lot better defensive line than the Knights of Mount Michael that we saw last week, and they're still having their way with this D-line of the Dukes.
And this is just a perfect situation for the Cougars. You have probably one of the strongest offensive lines in Class B, if not the strongest, paired with, without a doubt, the best running back in Class B right now in Jake Garcia. Brings trouble for every defense they face. And we don't have any official stats on us, but Garcia hovering right around 70, 80 rushing yards already on the game with 3 touchdowns. So Stephen Ginn again will be kicking it off.
Stephen Ginn back to kick it off for the Cougars.
Yeah, and if you're York, you'd like to get some good field position, maybe off of this kickoff, because your offense, it's not working for you right now. So maybe you could do it on the special teams end, but it starts right now, already down 21-0.
Yep, and we know last time they went for the fair catch at the 20. I would imagine in that situation again, they'll try and run it. Like you said, look to get some strong field position. This one caught at the 20 again, but they're going to go with the fair catch again.
Fair catch by Emmanuel Jensen. York takes over. 1st and 10.
So 1st and 10 here. Sievers and the offense come out again, still looking to move the chains for the first time tonight. -3 yards to start for the Dukes. Their first drive lost 6 yards and only a gain of 3 yards on their last drive. Again, it'll be Sievers and Erickson. The handoff on 1st down right up the middle. Looking like a pickup of 2 there for Seth Erickson. You got to wonder if they're going to try and find a way to incorporate Ryan Sievers in the run game as well. He is a very versatile quarterback on the season, 98 carries compared to Erickson's 117. So a very even distribution between running back and quarterback.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Sievers really keep it all night yet, so you would imagine they might start doing that here, but eventually they're going to have to start throwing the ball, Joey.
Absolutely. They've tried to throw twice on the day. One pass complete for 3 yards, another one pressured and nowhere to go. So 3:45 to go in the first quarter. Fakes the handoff, wrapping around to his left. The crossbody throw, that one, great coverage there. Knocked away. That looks to be Ben Rice there on the defense. Fantastic breakup from the Cougars. That'll bring up a 3rd and 8.
Yeah, what a play there by Ben Rice. He came in quick there.
So again, a 3rd and long here for the Dukes. Got to do whatever in their power it takes to get the first down. 4 out wide. And he will hand this one off, and the defense not fooled in the slightest. A big tackle for loss.
Thomas Gilbert once again so quick around that edge, and huge tackle for a loss there.
The play calling just seeing no success to start this night. It's a 4th and 14 with Sievers ready to punt this one away. Palladino back at the 50 waiting on the return. Sievers a lot better work on his previous punt, but this time standing just in front of the goal line. This one caught right behind the 50-yard line. Palladino able to get this one just shy of the 45. They will start off another drive in Duke's territory.
Daniel Jensen, it's 1st and 10 for the Cougars.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Van Hout, you got to be happy so far how this game has started. Much different than how the Cougars came out in that first quarter last week against Mount Michael. They've come out hot so far, and I don't imagine them to let up anytime soon.
Haven't seen them let up all season, and they've had a lot of these big victories. Yeah, last week it was only 7 points in the opening quarter, responded with 21 in the second, but they have 21 points on the board with 2:40 to go in the opening quarter. I formation here. He's going to hand this one off. He does keep it to himself. Pass caught by Ben Rice.
Duncan's pass is complete to Ben Rice.
Rice goes down right around the marker, and they will give him the first down. Moving the chains. Ball at the 36-yard line. So another Cougar first down.
Now they're in the I formation, Joey. You'd expect them to be running here.
And they do go to Gilbert. Gilbert keeps pushing through. That's another first down inside the 25. Tommy Gilbert just plowing through defenders, really showing off just the strength he has on both the offensive and defensive side.
It's 1st and 10 for the Cougars.
Again, working quick. This is an offense all year that wastes no time in between plays. Handoff to Garcia this time, but the defense takes him down right at the line. Nowhere to go on the play for Jake Garcia.
No gain on the play, it's 2nd and 10.
So they will mark him down right at the line. It'll be 2nd and 10 with 1:45 to go in the first quarter. Back to the I formation. Some play action here. Duncan wrapping onto the right side. This one caught inside the 15-yard line. That'll be another first down for the Cougars. That's Charlie Palladino on the reception. Excuse me. That one was K.O. Rempe, the freshman receiver. So ball now at the 14-yard line.
And what an effective use of the play action right there.
Hand off to Garcia right up the middle. Garcia just shy of the 5-yard line.
Jake Garcia, the ball carrier.
Strong carry on first down.
Tripped up by the Dukes. Gain of 8, it's 2nd.
Again, working quick. They're going to look to get 28 by the end of this quarter. Less than a minute to play. Hand off to Gilbert. The second effort on the run looks to get him the first down. It'll be 1st and goal here.
Seth Erickson and Cadence Beldy on the tackle. That's good for a first down. It's 1st and goal.
45 seconds left. Seeing the rare huddle here for the Cougars. I formation once more. Gilbert and Garcia. The handoff here to Jake Garcia. Taken down, looks like at the 2, maybe 3-yard line with 20 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Tackled by Marshall McCarthy.
And it's looking like they will let the clock run down for the end of the first quarter. And what an opening quarter it was for the Cougars. 21-0. 3 rushing touchdowns from Jake Garcia. Gets his season total to 20. Offense and defense looking fantastic for the 10-0 Cougars. We'll take a quick break and be back for the start of the second quarter. Don't go anywhere.
again, folks, split the pot tickets for sale right now. All through the second quarter, drawing at halftime. Support the basketball program. Get your split the pot tickets now.
Here to start the second quarter. So the two teams switch ends. It's second and goal. Gross on the 2. The handoff to Garcia, and he walks into the end zone for touchdown number 4 on the evening, Joey. And the Cougars go up 27-0 in this one.
Unbelievable start to the game for the Cougars. And man, what a performance from Jake Garcia. 4 rushing touchdowns, and we are 5 seconds into the second quarter. Not something you see every day, and Jake Garcia just seeing a sign held up, over 1,500 rushing yards on the year.
Yeah, so 1,500 yards now for Jake Garcia on the year. What an incredible season, and the extra point is good. 28-0 now, and what a start for the Cougars.
Amazing start for them, and a frustrating outing here for the York Dukes to start. Never a team you expect to show explosiveness on offense. We said only averaging 17 a game on the offensive end, but really expected a lot more from their defense going into tonight. We were even talking before we went on air about how we kind of expected it to maybe be another slower start for Gross because they had to deal with how to get past this Duke defense, but they have had no troubles tonight.
And once again, we want to thank the firefighters at Station 5 for listening in. Thanks so much for all you guys do. We know you're big Cougar fans, and they got to be happy there at Station 5 right now, Joey.
Absolutely. They are having a good time watching this one. And this just becomes the tough situation so early into it on trying to figure out how you're going to turn this around if you're the Dukes. Second quarter, you have more than enough time to turn it around, but you cannot wait. With the explosiveness of this Gross offense, they are going to keep putting points on the board if you don't find a way to stop them and if you don't find a way to create a response on the offensive end.
Well, and someone's going to have to block Thomas Gilbert. They might want to think about double teaming him. He's done some great work on the edge as an edge rusher so far in this one.
Yeah. We talked about the secondary was the big thing for them, but secondary hasn't even had any work. They haven't needed to throw the ball.
So the kick from Cossey, and it will go in the end zone for a touchback. So the Dukes will start from the 20-yard line. And York coming out on offense now for the third time. They are behind in this one, 28-0, and they're going to want to make some quick work if they want to get back into this game.
Yeah, 3 drives, still have yet to pick up a first down. Just a rough performance from this offense so far. Haven't been able to find anything to work, and like you were saying in that first quarter, they're going to have to start airing it out sometime soon.
So now man in motion, it's Stinger. Severs drops back, he throws it, and it is picked off. And a huge pickoff there. It's Jackson Drake, and he is taken out of bounds to about the 14-yard line. And what an interception there.
A late flag thrown on the play after the interception. And Drake had an interception in last week's game as well, having a great performance recently on defense.
So it looks like they call a holding on the Cougars after the interception, so they will be taken back a little bit. We'll see where they place them here.
So for Drake, that's his second interception on the season, coming in back-to-back weeks.
So they'll place them at the 30-yard lines to start for the Cougars, and Gross with a huge 28-0 lead. Looking to add to that total here, 11:46 to go in this first half. Colby Duncan in the gun. He's got Jake Garcia, who has 4 touchdowns in this game, in the backfield with him. The snap to Duncan. Duncan hands it off to Garcia, and Garcia gets to about the 28-yard line. Should be about a gain of 2, 2nd and 8 it'll be.
And so far in this game, the Cougars really haven't had to think about much when it comes to play calling. They haven't had to worry about airing it out a ton. They haven't had to worry about any strategic plays. They've just been feeding it up the middle. Garcia taking the bulk. Even Tommy Gilbert had a few strong carries so far, just been able to pound the ground, seen a lot of success from it. So if you're the Dukes, you got to find a way to throw them off their rhythm.
So Duncan in the gun, 2 in the backfield. He hands that one off, hands it off to Owen Brennan. And Brennan moves up to about the 36-yard line.
Cadence Belvey on the tackle.
So this will be their longest third down play of the game so far. It'll be a 3rd and 7.
So 3rd and 7, ball on the 27. You'd expect Duncan to be throwing here. We saw last week, though, he's capable to run it himself, so we'll see what he does here. No one in the backfield. He drops back. He's throwing. And the pass is complete. And it looks like he finds Ben Rice there.
Ben Rice.
Look to have marked him just short of the first.
Looks like they'll have about a yard to go. We'll see where they spot it here. Yeah, so the 21-yard line, 4th and 1 now. And the Cougars are going to go for it here.
And for Duncan on that last play, looked to be one of those plays where he really liked Rice's route. Didn't seem to look anywhere else in that play. He knew exactly where he was going. Wasn't able to get the first down, but got the completion for 6.
So the I formation here, and Duncan keeps it himself, quarterback sneak, and picks up the first down.
Duncan with the sneak.
And that's how you kind of wanted to get some momentum on your side if you're York, and they are not able to stop them on 4th down, and a big first down pickup for the Cougars.
And just such a tricky play there if you're York, because that's a situation on a 4th and 1 where you got to worry about 3 different guys. And obviously I formation, that's always the case, but these are 3 great guys on the ground. We've seen what Duncan can do. Tommy Gilbert is a power back, and I don't need to say much about Jake Garcia.
So now the pistol, Duncan fakes the handoff. He's throwing there. A little bit of activity between Ben Rice and the cornerback, Garrett Ivey. No flag thrown. It was an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 10. Ball on the 19. Of course, Garrett Ivey, part of this Duke secondary that had a great year, able to force interceptions all year long, but not been a good night for this York defense tonight. Now Garcia in motion, and it's a little screen pass to Garcia. Garcia has it, and he gets taken down just before the 10 at about the 11-yard line.
Garcia. Tackled by number 85, Austin Finney.
So it'll be about 3rd and 2, it looks like here.
And Garcia, never really known for much of a receiving back, but in recent weeks, they've given him a lot more opportunities in the air. So over 100 yards receiving for the season with a touchdown.
Clearly marking down on the play.
So it'll be 3rd and 3, ball on the 12-yard line.
Looks like there was a flag on that last play.
Officials will get together to discuss it. But Joey, what an incredible year from Jake Garcia so far this season.
And coming off a strong junior year, people were expecting a lot, and he managed to exceed everyone's expectations.
Illegal man downfield on the Cougars is the call.
So they call an illegal man downfield, so we'll see where they put this now. Looks like they'll spot the ball at about the 24-yard line.
Cougars back to the 24-yard line.
Will be 2nd and 10 now.
It's 2nd and 15.
2nd and 15, correct that. So 2nd and 15, ball on the 24. The snap. Fakes the option pitch, keeps it himself. Duncan, he's still going, 10, and taken down at about the 5-yard line. Nice run from Colby Duncan. We saw that last week, and he's dangerous when he keeps it himself.
Yeah, an incredible run, really showing the agility there. The inside cut followed by the spin move, able to create open field and make it a 1st and goal for this Cougar team. The athleticism really showcased there by Colby Duncan. And we had talked about it. The earlier games this year, you weren't seeing the running as much from Colby Duncan. In the past few games, really been taking any opportunity he can get. They've been designing a lot more plays for him to show it off as well.
Now Duncan under center. Fakes the handoff to Garcia and nearly picked off there by Leighton Snodgrass, but Snodgrass dropped it.
Duncan's pass is knocked down by number 87, Leighton Snodgrass.
So it'll be 2nd and 5.
Second and
Ball
goal for
on the
Cougars
5. 2nd and goal, Ball on the 5.
Yeah, and the rare mistake there from Duncan, not exactly sure what he was looking for there. Looked to pretty much throw that one right to Snodgrass.
So once again, the Cougars line up in the I formation. The handoff to Garcia once again, and he's got touchdown number 5 on the evening, and the Cougars go up 34-0.
Just a career night for Jake Garcia. He's had an incredible career, an amazing season, and with just a few games left in his high school career, he is really showing what he is capable of.
Yeah, already went over 1,500 yards on the season tonight, and now picks up touchdown number 5. That's right, for you listening at home, touchdown number 5 for Jake Garcia as we await the extra point from Kasi. And the kick is up. It is good, and it is 35-0 here with 8:03 to go here in this first half.
And for Garcia, it's 5 touchdowns in just less than 16 minutes of game time. Unbelievable performance from their star back. And so going into this next drive, if you're the Dukes, how do you even proceed? Because the run game hasn't been there. The pass game hasn't looked great, but they haven't forced it much. Do you start just airing it out every couple plays to hope it's there? Or how do you even go about this to try and get into an offensive rhythm?
Well, in the last pass we saw from Ryan Sievers, Joey, it was tried throwing it downfield, but well underthrown, and it was picked off by Drake of the Cougars. So they're going to have to start throwing the ball here at some point if they want any chance of getting back into this game.
And you got to think with the mobile quarterback that he is, we would see a little bit more play action where he can either get the short 5-10 yard pass or go on his legs and try and push together for a few yards, but not a lot of that here from the Dukes tonight.
So now Kasi back to kick for the Cougars.
Just kind of an interesting note you notice for the Cougars, it was Stephen Ginn kicking it off in the first quarter, Kasi in the second. Notice Kasi last week didn't play. It was Stephen Ginn on both kickoff and PAT duty.
So now the kick. It's a little squib kick, and it mishandled there on about 5. Able to recover though, and taken to about the 29-yard line on the kickoff. So that's where the Dukes will start.
Number 12, Carter
Down
Speaker,
35-0, 7:56 to go here in this first half.
Mishandled it, but ends up being one of the brightest moments they've had so far tonight. Able to get this one to the 29. It'll be the best field position that they've started with.
So 1st and 10, ball on the 29. Sievers in the gun. The snap. Sievers hands it off, and nice little run there. On the run was number 14, Marshall McCarthy.
Number 14, Marshall McCarthy.
Yeah, McCarthy, the senior, getting his first carry of the night.
Got to about the 37-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 2. That's the biggest gains the Dukes have had all evening there, Joey.
Yeah, finally able to get something going their way. And Henry Nospich on the tackle. Last week he had 11 tackles with an interception, bringing his season total to 70 tackles.
So now the I formation for the Dukes, and they hand it off to Erickson. Erickson keeps it, and he picks up the first down. So a little more success on the ground on this drive for the Dukes. They're able to pick up the first down.
For the first time tonight, the chains move for the Dukes. Gonna look to build off of that.
So ball on the 44. It'll be 1st and 10 for the first time the Dukes pick up a first down in this one. 6:58 to go with the clock running here in this first half. So now Sievers. He's got 2 in the backfield. It's McCarthy and Erickson. Ivy in motion. The snap. And the option play pitches it to Erickson. Erickson taken down past the 50 to about the 52. Or excuse me, the 48.
And that's a pickup you're happy with if you're the Dukes. Obviously, they haven't been able to get pickups like that the entirety of the first quarter. So able to get something going your way. And pretty much that entire play, they had Cougars pursuing them. Saw a quarterback, Severs, getting hit as he pitched it back, and a few linemen coming right at Erickson after the pitch, able to evade them. Overall, gets a gain of 8 on the first down.
So 2nd and 2, ball on the 48-yard line. The snap to Severs, and he hands it off to Erickson once again, and Erickson brought down at about the 46.
Erickson brought down by 8
and they will give him the first down, so another first down pickup for the Dukes.
And I'll give it to them. We were talking about how they need to see success and how they might want to start trying to air it out, but they've gotten the first downs and they've done it their way. They've stuck to the run game, and they're now in Cougar territory.
And we'll see. We've seen Gross stack the box all evening long. They've been playing Palladino deep as the safety, and Palladino's back there again. So now it's Severs. He pitches it to Erickson. Erickson looking for somewhere to go, and he's taken down at about the 42. So it looks like a pickup of 4 yards.
On the tackle.
And in this drive, you've kind of seen the abilities of Erickson a lot more. And that last play, kind of seeing the IQ of him knowing to go for the hesitation move, because Owen Brennan was running him down there, able to hesitate, make Brennan choose a side, then able to wrap around to the right side, get a gain of 3 instead of taking the tackle for a loss.
So Marshall McCarthy comes on for the Dukes. Carter Stinger goes off. Ivy in motion. And Ivy, he catches the pass, and he gets to about the 38-yard line, taken out of bounds.
Ivy, he's tackled by Ben Rice.
Ben Rice gets another tackle in this one.
And after the interception from Severs, we talked about the underthrow on that pass. I understand not wanting to go for the deep throw, but I like seeing him right here go for these shorter passes. Try and get 5, 10-yard passes, a little dump off to some of the receivers. Just try and get Severs in a rhythm in the air.
So they do pick up the first down. It'll be 1st and 10. Ball on the 36. Best drive of the evening for York so far. They trail with 3:45 to go in the first half, 35-0. Ivy once again in motion. Severs under center, and he hands this one off to Erickson, and Erickson is taken down at the 35. So pickup of 1 yard there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Defensive line just not letting up there. Erickson going right into a wall, able to get a gain of 1.
Gain of 1 is 2nd and 9.
And a fast opening half, just over 3 minutes to go in the second quarter.
And York, they like to take their time when calling their plays. Always like to huddle up. A little different than what we see from the Cougars. So now, in the gun is Severs. He's got Erickson in the backfield. Severs drops back, looking for somewhere to throw, and huge hit there. It was caught by Emmanuel. It looked like it was almost caught by Jensen, but pass broken up on the huge hit there.
And Owen Brennan, that was not his first big hit of the night. Really been showcasing his pursuit abilities tonight.
Yeah, last week we saw Brennan force the fumble and then recover that same fumble. So he's got the athleticism to make some plays, and the huge hit there to force the incompletion. Severs drops back now. Severs throwing, tried to drop it off to Erickson, and they say it was incomplete. It's hard to tell from our angle if it was a forward pass or not.
9 yards to go.
So it'll be 4th and 9, ball on the 35. And Joey, if you're York, you got to go for it here.
Yeah, no option on this play. You got a 4th and 9. You're at the 35, middle of nowhere. Gonna have to go for it. Cannot end this half with no points on the board.
So now Palladino and Brennan talking about some coverage here. Seavers in the gun. He's got Erickson in the backfield with him. The snap. Seavers on the bootleg, and he throws it up, and it is out of bounds, incomplete. So turnover on downs for the Dukes, and started out with a great drive. But not how you wanted to go about it after picking up all those first downs if you're York. Come up with nothing there and turn the ball over on downs.
Nope, they finally tried going to the air, but it was to the tune of 3 straight incompletions. Almost had a completion on that first play, but the big hit by Brennan forced the incompletion. Then the missed throw to Erickson, and then on 4th down, trying to find Garrett Ivy, but the throw going out of bounds.
So 2:29 to go here in the half. The Cougars up 35-0.
And you know, with this Cougars team, 2.5 minutes is more than enough time to get down the field.
Oh, most definitely. So Colby Duncan, now Palladino in motion. Duncan in the pistol. Hands it off to Garcia. Garcia once again, he's got 5 touchdowns, and he's taken out of bounds at about the 45. There is a flag on the play on the gross 45-yard line.
Penalty marker on the play. It's holding on the
And
Cougars.
a holding is called on the Cougars, so that'll be taking them back 10 yards.
And you know, throughout the year, this has been a very disciplined Cougars team. You don't see a whole lot of penalties going against them. It seems like it's been a rarity to have these runs being pushed back.
Where they started, it's 1st and 10.
Yeah, this is a very disciplined offensive line we've seen from them, and get caught holding there. So it'll be 1st and 10. Ball on the 35-yard line. 2:13 to go here in the first half. The snap to Duncan. And the handoff to Garcia once again. Garcia still going now, 40, and taken down to about the 50-yard line.
Garcia, the ball carrier.
And picks up the first down. The penalty didn't matter there. They pick up the first down no matter what. So now they're in Duke territory at the 49, and they're in that hurry-up offense now. The snap. Duncan fakes the handoff, drops back, fakes the throw. Now he's on the bootleg and keeps it himself, and he is taken out just past the 45-yard line in Duke's territory.
Duncan on the keeper. He runs out of bounds.
And Duncan, coming off a game with over 200 passing yards, really showcased his abilities with the arm, but he has not had to do that in the slightest tonight. Just a few play-action passes, really all he has to show, because the run game has just been so dominant for this Cougar team. And with this big lead, you have to imagine the second half is going to be a whole lot of running.
So 2nd and 7, ball on the 46-yard line. 4 out wide, Garcia in the backfield, Duncan in the gun. The snap, Duncan drops back. Duncan airs it out, and he's looking for Drake and just overthrows Drake in the end zone.
Duncan's pass intended for Jackson Drake.
And it'll be 3rd and 7 from the 46 now.
Drake coming off the best game of his season, had his man beat, would have been an easy touchdown, but just a little too much on the throw.
The Dukes will be getting the ball in the second half. They trail in this one 35-0. 1:32 to go in the half. 3rd and 7, ball on the 46. Duncan in the pistol. Hands it off to Garcia. And Garcia still on his feet. And he will not pick up the first down. Gets to the 44.
Marshall McCarthy.
So it'll be 4th and 4, and it looks like the Cougars are going to go for it here.
4 yards to go.
4th and 4 from the 43-yard line. Clocks continues to run.
I was partially wondering, with all 3 timeouts, if the Dukes would have used one had they gotten the stop. try and get some points on the board before the half.
Duncan throws it on the run and gets it to Palladino. Palladino picks up the first down, and it is a first down for the Cougars.
That's good for a Cougar first down.
Just so hard to stop a team like this because they can torch you in any area of the field.
Duncan now alone in the backfield, drops back, and penalty on the play. Looks like we have a false start. So false start on the Cougars.
First and 15.
So first and 15 now, ball on the 41. 41 seconds to go. Still no timeout from that York sideline. Now 30 seconds to go. The snap to Duncan. Duncan throwing once again, and the ball batted down there. Batted down by number 68, Cadence Velde.
Down at the line of scrimmage. It's second and 15.
So second and 15 now. Clock stopped at 22 seconds to go in the half.
And this Cougars team, I mean, what a dominant year it's been. Coming off a 4-6 season, 10-0, and besides the 21-14 victory against Elkhorn, their closest game has been a 27-point victory. One of the things Coach Van Hout pointed out today is the most points they've allowed in a game is 14.
So now Duncan drops back. On the run, decides to keep it, and still on his feet, able to get out of the crowd, and completes that to Ben Rice, who's able to get out of bounds.
Complete to Ben Rice. He goes out of bounds.
So it looks like he's about a yard short of the first down.
And Duncan all season has been a great quarterback, but it seems like the recent weeks they've utilized him in ways they hadn't all year, and he has showcased the raw talent he brings more than ever.
So he did get the first down. They'll spot it at the 31. Excuse me, the 26-yard line. First and 10 from the 26. 14 seconds to go. Duncan drops back. Duncan throwing, and the pass is complete.
Kobe Duncan's pass complete to Ben
It's
Rice.
Ben Rice on the reception once again. They've thrown to Rice quite a bit in this one.
Emmanuel Jensen on the tackle.
And the Cougars taking their first time out.
Cougars taking a timeout.
So Gross takes the timeout here with 7 seconds to go. It'll be first and 10 with the ball on the 16-yard line.
Get your tickets ready, split the pot drawing coming
And
up.
Joey, what's been your reaction to this Cougars offense so far in this one?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is I'm just so surprised they got it going this quickly. Before the game, when you and I were talking, I was thinking second half adjustments was going to get them the big advantage and they were going to pull away later in the game. But I really was expecting a slower start in the first half. I thought the Duke offense would kind of overwhelm them to start, but man, right out of the gate, they knew exactly how they were going to go about this game. Just dominant from the opening play to now ending this half 35-0, looking to throw some more points on the board before the end of the half. Obviously, the run game from Jake Garcia and company has been dominant, and even Colby Duncan, the few times he's had to air it out, showing off what he can do, and likely going to be going to his arm again right here, first down on the 16-yard line.
So first and 10, ball on the 16, 7 seconds to go in the half. 2 in the backfield with Duncan in the gun. 3 out wide. Now Garcia's in motion. And Duncan. Now he's on the run, and he is taken down there. Taken down by Samson Brownlee.
He gets to Kobe Duncan in the backfield, knocking down for the sack.
With the strong offensive line from this Cougars team, sacks truly have been a rarity throughout this year.
So it looks like they did get the timeout off with 0.9 seconds to go.
Cougars call a timeout.
It was the Cougars who called their second timeout of the half. So 0.9 seconds to go here in this first half. So one final play for the Cougars.
Looking like Alex Koss is getting ready, going to try and get 3 on the board here to close the half. Won't be an easy field goal, probably just over 40 yards.
So they will be kicking here from the 26-yard line. And the kicking team does come out, so they are going to attempt this field goal. The wind is blowing pretty good to the south, and that's the way they're facing. So they are kicking with the wind here, Joey. Palladino to hold.
It'll be a 43-yard field goal.
So now the kick is up. And the kick is good, so, or no, they say it was no good. From here it looked good. So 35-0 we go. As Joey, what was your reactions to that first half? I know we just talked about this offense, but on the defensive end, what was your reaction to how Gross really stopped this running game of the York Dukes?
Well, the biggest surprise is just how little troubles they had. We had talked beforehand about Ryan Sievers, the dual threat quarterback, what he can bring, not only throwing it, but also running. I thought they were really going to have some troubles on the scramble game from Sievers, but it really hasn't been present at all for the Dukes. The defense just really shutting them down in every way, shape, or form. Now, the last drive the Dukes had, they did work the ball into Cougar territory, had some success on the handoff, but going into this second half, been nothing but pleased from what I've seen from the Cougar defense.
So we will take a quick break, but we will have second half action for you. The Cougars up 35-0. Don't go anywhere.
Let's hear it for the Cougar varsity 10th team. Nice job, ladies.
There's nothing quite like the sense of belonging here at Gross Catholic High School, where you instantly fit in and it feels like family. We're a small school with big opportunities for you to pursue your passions, expand your skills, and become a leader.
Gross Catholic not only prepares you for college, it gets you ready for what comes next in your career and life. With more than 100 college prep courses, including honors and AP classes, and innovative dual credit academies, you can push yourself to new limits.
Come to Gross Catholic to experience our exceptional teachers who know you by name and challenge you to put learning into action in ways you never thought possible, all while exploring and deepening your faith through relationships with God, family, and friends.
At Gross Catholic, putting yourself out there and trying new things is more than okay. It's encouraged. There are over 40 extracurricular activities and competitive sports to participate in. Plus, as a co-ed school, there's a place for everyone, where you won't just find out who you are, but who you're called to be.
Come see where courage meets opportunity.
Schedule a visit at Gross Catholic High School today.
Because you belong here.
Oh, I love it. Great community, great friends, great teachers. It's very easy to be involved with the community here.
It definitely brought me out of my comfort zone a ton. It was super easy to make friends and get involved.
It's definitely been something that I've enjoyed coming to every day. I mean, I feel like I can, interact with everyone.
I really like Gross because it's a great place to meet new people and try a lot of different things and be able to get out of your comfort zone.
This school has helped me grow and make me feel more connected.
You have endless opportunities when it comes to academics and athletics.
The biggest thing is the community. Everybody is just so connected. That's what I love about Gross. It's just such a small community, such a tight-knit group of people. It's like family.
Like you just be like walking down the hallway and like there's everyone just like laughing and smiling.
That's what I do.
That's the best part about going to school with like 400 kids in it. Everyone knows everyone. And we all support each other. We get rowdy, we shake the floor.
We have 4 houses, 1 home, but we really do act like a family.
When it comes down to it, it's given me a group of friends that I think I personally want to be friends with out of high school. It's a fantastic atmosphere where everybody feels welcomed and everybody just has a place.
And you see that love for one another outside the school halls as well. But it really starts here in the halls of Gross Catholic, the formation for life. And so we see our graduates go on and do great things. And I think because that moral formation that they've received here at Gross Catholic.
Teachers are great role models for us. They're fantastic people and they teach us how to lead, how to be a great leader.
Being in high school, there's a lot that kids go through. There's some teachers here that I've been able to talk to, even pray with. Like if something happened in my family, I'd say, hey, Mr. Conley, can you help me pray for this person? He'd be like, sure, Gio.
I think it's good that they challenge us a little bit because that'll obviously help us become better, not only in school, but just to help make us a better person.
The teachers don't only make class fun, but they make it something I want to be learning.
I'm involved in the Health Science Academy. I think it's great. And it's a really good way of finding, hey, I like this without spending all this money on college.
We learn a lot of the skills needed in corporate America, like teamwork and sportsmanship with a level of professionalism.
Do Sesto means to be a leader, and at Gross, that's rooted into our teaching, into our curriculum, everything.
1, 2, 3, lights out! It means to me that whenever I make decisions, I can't just focus on myself because it includes other people, and I need to keep that in mind and not put it on the back burner and just forget about it. It's something very important that I've learned.
And to me, a leader is someone who people can always come to you for help, just to talk. I think we should celebrate love, with everything going on in the world. It's just nice to just love each other, be there for each other, community. And Gross is a community.
As I go on and graduate, just my faith has kept me strong and confident in what is next in the future.
You can be yourself, you can have fun. It's amazing.
I love it.
Go Cougs.
I always go back to football. After wins, come to the student section and sing the Cougar fight song. It's when you're singing that and everybody's yelling, it's just like nothing else matters and you're just living in that moment.
All right, so let's have you sing the Cougar fight song right now.
All right.
A 1, 2, 3.
Here we are the Gross High Cougars, fighters all and winners too. Here we are the Cajun Cougars, go with the orange and blue. Hear 'em howl, hungry Cougars on the prowl. Hear 'em shout, hear 'em say, we gon' winners all the way. Rah, 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 rah. Hey, come on Cougars, show 'em how we do it. Show 'em how the game is won. On your mark, get set, go to it. Gross High, great, best in the Husker State. Cougars are #1. Hey.
nothing quite like the sense of belonging here at Gross Catholic High School, where you instantly fit in and it feels like family. We're a small school with big opportunities for you to pursue your passions, expand your skills, and become a leader.
Gross Catholic not only prepares you for college, it gets you ready for what comes next in your career and life. With more than 100 college prep courses, including honors and AP classes, and innovative dual credit academies, you can push yourself to new limits.
Come to Gross Catholic to experience our exceptional teachers who know you by name and challenge you to put learning into action in ways you never thought possible, all while exploring and deepening your faith through relationships with God, family, and friends.
At Gross Catholic, putting yourself out there and trying new things is more than okay. It's encouraged. There are over 40 extracurricular activities and competitive sports to participate in. Plus, as a co-ed school, there's a place for everyone, where you won't just find out who you are, but who you're called to be.
Come see where courage meets opportunity.
Schedule a visit at Gross Catholic High School today.
Because you belong here.
And we are back here as we prepare for the second half of action between the Gross Catholic Cougars and the York Dukes. Gross up 35-0 on the Dukes in this one, and it's been all Jake Garcia on this offensive end for the Cougars, Joey.
That's right, Garcia been the story of the half. 5 touchdowns scored for the Cougars, 5 touchdowns scored for Jake Garcia. Just a career night for a guy having an unbelievable season. Now 20 touchdowns on the ground. He has looked incredible. Don't have official numbers to confirm it, but looks like he's over the 100-yard mark as well in that first time. I think that's a pretty safe
I would
bet.
Imagine
yeah.
So, yes, it's been an excellent evening for Jake
yep.
Garcia. 5 touchdowns on the night, and that's how we have a 35-0 Gross lead as the two teams come out for the kick. The Dukes will be receiving in this second half. Back to receive will be Carter Stinger.
And it looks to be Stephen Ginn again on the kickoff.
Low squib kick there. And Stinger fakes the pitch and keeps it himself on the kick return, and he'll be taken down just before the 25-yard line. So the Dukes will be starting from the 24, and it is the 35-0 rule, so Gross up by 35, so the clock will continue to run as of right now. So 11:30 to go here. Just underway in this third quarter.
And in that first half, just nothing going for the Dukes until that final drive. They got to find a way to get in a rhythm.
So Sievers in the gun, 2 in the backfield, 2 out wide, a couple tight ends out there. And fakes the handoff, and he's throwing deep, something we haven't seen all game long. And it's fight for the ball, and it is a complete pass. Carter Stinger on the reception.
Owen Brennan with the tackle. That's 1st and 10 for the Dukes.
So 1st and 10, ball on the Gross 46.
Yeah, their new longest play of the night. Great reception there from Stanger. Tough catch to make, able to come down with it.
So now the snap and the handoff. It is Erickson and doesn't get very far there.
Carlson Umgren with the tackle.
And it's just so tough to rely on the run game to work consistently when you're going up against this Cougar defensive line.
So it's a gain of 1, 2nd and 9 now. And looks like we got an offside on the Cougars.
Penalty marker down on the play.
2 different linemen falling for that right there.
Caught him with that hard count, so now it'll be 2nd and 5. Ball on the 40.
It's 2nd and 5 for the Dukes.
And for the Dukes, they still haven't scored, but their final drive of the first half was their most promising, able to work it down right around the 30-yard line. So right now, a lot of hope that they can start to get in a rhythm, get points on the board.
So Sievers back in the gun. He throws it. And once again, it is Stinger. And a big hit there.
Complete to Carter Stinger.
The hit by Thomas Gilbert.
With the tackle.
And Gilbert, seen him a lot running the ball this year, but on the defensive end tonight, he's had some great plays.
Yeah, he's done a great job getting through that line, and right there, a powerful tackle. And even earlier this drive, that big completion from Sievers to Stanger, you notice there, Gilbert kind of threw down Seth Erickson to try and get to the quarterback, just really showing what he's capable of.
So it's 3rd and 3, ball on the 39. The snap. And the quarterback keeper, and
guess who?
Taken down.
Tommy Gilbert.
And Tommy Gilbert once again. Gilbert, as we were just saying, all over the place on the defensive end, and it's now 4th and 3. Ball on the 39.
4th and 3.
And this is big for the Dukes right here. They are down 35-0. The clock runs. Under 8.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Trying the hard count there.
And look at that matchup between Gilbert and the right tackle, number 70. A huge size mismatch, but Gilbert just able to get through.
So now the snap to Sievers. Sievers drops back, fakes the throw, keeps it himself, and taken out of bounds, dives for the first down. It looks like he does pick up the first down.
So Rimpey with the tackle.
It was Rimpey on the tackle.
Sievers picks up enough for a first down. So about 5 on the play. It's 1st and 10 Dukes.
So it's a gain of 5, 1st and 10, ball on the 34.
And with Sievers, we said it a few times in the first half, the big thing with him that makes him so tough for the defense is his ability to scramble and take off. And really, the Cougars have not given him the opportunity to do so in this game, besides a few opportunities like that to take it for 3 to 5 yards, but on 4th down, able to come through, move the chains, and keep this drive going.
So now Sievers in the gun. He's got Erickson in the backfield. The snap, the handoff. Fakes the handoff actually to Erickson, and now he's facing pressure. There is orange jerseys everywhere, and he does complete the pass, and it is completed for Garrett Ivy.
Pass complete to number 2, Garrett.
An amazing play there. Looks like we do have a flag on the play.
There is a penalty marker down on the play.
Walking back like this one will be against the Dukes, which is a shame because really a great play there made from the quarterback Ryan Sievers.
Yeah, and sometimes when those quarterback extend the plays like that, get out of the pocket, you do see a lot of holding calls with the offensive line having to improvise, and they get called holding there. So this will bring them back pretty far here. They'll place it at the Gross 49.
Moves to a 1st and 25 here.
Wow, 1st and 25 now for the Dukes. And the pitch just gets off to Erickson, and he is taken down. Little reaction from the crowd there on that hit.
Brian Sears' pass is incomplete.
Oh, it's an incomplete pass, excuse
second
me.
and 25, ball
So
at the
2nd and
49-yard line.
25, ball on the 49. There was orange jerseys everywhere. Couldn't see if he had that or not. So clock continues to run now, under 6.5 in the third quarter. 2nd and 25, ball on the 49. The snap. Fakes the handoff. Sievers now throws it up. This could be dangerous, and it is picked off once again. Second interception of the game thrown by Sievers. And that time picked off by Alex Cogswell, gets the interception.
And just like that first interception, just all orange jerseys in the area right there. Kind of a blind throw from Sievers, was getting hit, just kind of chucked it up, and Cogswell and multiple other Cougars right there able to come down with it.
Yeah, always dangerous when you throw it up like that.
Almost like an outfielder situation right there. Cogswell kind of yelling mine to his other teammates.
So 1st and 10, ball on the 36. High formation and the handoff to Gilbert. And forward progress call.
Tommy Gilbert, the ball carrier, he's tackled by Cohen Dye.
So Cohen Dye on the
2nd
tackle.
and 8 for the Cougars.
2nd and 8 now.
And to mention again, in this quarterfinal matchup, the winner of tonight's game will face the winner of 3-seed Scottsbluff and 6-seed Scott, going on right now as we speak.
So under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. I formation once again. Duncan hands it off to Garcia, and Garcia just pounding his way through up to about the 46-yard line.
Garcia, just such a tough guy to stop. He's looking to pick up right where he left off in the first half.
So he does pick up the first down. So 1st and 10 from the 46. And if you're Gross, you're in no hurry now to run plays, having that 35-0 advantage. I formation once again. Duncan fakes the handoff to Garcia, throws it, and intended for Drake, incomplete. And it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 46. Under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Jackson Drake is incomplete.
And I think it's probably such an odd convenience being able to huddle up in between every play, because this is a team that works very quick. They constantly go the no huddle. So for guys like Duncan calling the plays, probably a weird situation he's not exactly used to.
So 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 10, ball on the 46. Duncan working in the gun, on the run. He throws it and finds Drake there. And Drake still going past the 35-30 and to about the 27-yard line. First down for the Cougars.
And with the lack of the passing game, all the receivers for the Cougars having pretty quiet nights, but you give Jackson Drake an opportunity to get some open field, he is going to make you pay for it.
Yeah, we've seen Ben Rice get a majority of the receptions in this one, but Duncan finds Drake there. And it's Duncan in the pistol. He's got Garcia behind the snap. The handoff to Garcia. Garcia now to the 15, taken down to the 10.
Jake Garcia, the ball carrier.
Another first down for the Cougars, and they are really moving the ball now.
Go for another Cougar first down.
And as they get closer to the end zone with this type of lead, this much time left, you're looking to run the ball. You got to think a lot of them are thinking about how many more touchdowns they can get for Jake Garcia.
Yeah, that's right, Joey. Already 5 on the evening for Garcia. Duncan gets the snap. Throwing now to Garcia. Garcia sheds the first tackle, and he will go into the end zone. So 5 touchdowns on the ground, 1 in the air for Garcia. 41-0 Cougars lead.
Garcia with just his second receiving touchdown of the season. But like we had said earlier, they're looking to incorporate him into the passing game a lot more in these recent weeks. So 41-0. Colby Duncan gets his first passing touchdown of the game, 16th on the year. So a 16 touchdown to 2 interception ratio for Duncan.
So Stephen Ginn on the kick, and the kick is up, and it is good.
Ginn's kick is good.
42-0. Now the Cougars lead.
0.
And Joey, what a drive there from the Cougars. No answers really in the secondary or on that defensive line from the Dukes.
Yeah, and barring any sort of miraculous comeback and this team advances, for future opponents for this Growth team, just such a hard team to prepare for because so many guys can kill you. You got Colby Duncan, his abilities in the air. Obviously, Jake Garcia, it brings trouble for every defense. We haven't seen a defense really be able to limit him yet. But then guys like Tommy Gilbert, even Owen Brennan and Charlie Palladino have gotten good work on the ground this season. It's so hard to predict what this offense is going to bring out.
So we'll begin out to take the kickoff.
And again, another stellar performance from the Gross defense. On the year, just allowing 8 points per game. Looking to get another shutout on the season. They're coming off a 49-0 win. With 2 minutes left in the third quarter, they lead 42-0.
And here's the kick. Back to receive once again. It was Carter Stinger on the reception. Gets just short of the 30-yard line.
And further touching on this defense, we know we've talked numerous times this year about the improvement this team's seen from last season, going 4-6, and the offense has improved. But this team had a really good offense last year. The major improvement has been in that defensive game. They were allowing 29.8 points per game last year. They're allowing 8 this year. Night and day difference for this defense.
So now Ivy in motion. The snap, Sievers dropping back. Sievers throws it deep, looking for Ivy there, and it is completed to Ivy at the 40. He gets to the 35, taken down just short of the 30-yard line.
Ivy for a big game.
Another big game there. Sievers showing off his arm, something we haven't really seen in this game.
Yeah, right now they're much more inclined to throw the ball. And good work by Ivy, had his man beat in the throw. Again, kind of underthrew him a bit, but Ivy able to run back, get through the defenders, and come down with that ball.
So now Sievers under center, high formation for the Dukes. And the handoff there, given to Stinger.
Carter Stinger, the ball carrier.
Stinger taken down at about the 28-yard line.
Gain of 4 at 2nd and 6.
So 2nd and 6, it was a gain of 4. And the clock still running, now under 15 seconds. York, they'll want to hurry if they want to get a playoff here. Now 5 seconds. 2nd and 6, ball on the 27, and that will do it for the third quarter. Cougars 42, York 0, and that'll take us to the fourth quarter, and I will switch off the play-by-play duties to my colleague, Joey Kirkle. Don't go anywhere.
Hamburgers, hot dogs, and pizza for $1 at the concession stand.
And back for the final quarter of action here at Omaha Bryan High School. 42-0 lead. 2nd and 6 here at the 27-yard line. Handoff to Erickson right up the middle. Trying to push through some defenders, but taken down right around the marker. Looks to be just short. And you saw John Straight there making the tackle for the Cougars.
Yeah, and Joey, a little surprised York continues to run the ball here, being down 42-0.
You got to wonder if at some point they're just understanding this night might not be theirs, as you do see Sievers come off the field. And we do know the first play of the game that they had Erickson run out of Wildcat. They might be going for some of the same here. And actually, it looks like it will be Carter Stanger at quarterback. He's taken a few snaps this year at quarterback. Some motion here, a high snap. Stanger able to come down with it, running this one to the right side. We have a flag thrown, but Stanger able to work this one all the way into the end zone. That'll be a touchdown if it stands, but this one will likely be coming back.
Looks like they got Austin Finney on the hold. I could see that from up here. He was all over his man holding him. He even can tell right there, throwing his arms up in the air. So that cost him right there.
Frustrating call there for the Dukes, finally getting into the end zone the first time tonight, but having to go back.
It's a 10-yard penalty.
So Sievers stays off. It looks like Carter Stanger, the quarterback. He's got Erickson to his side. Looking to take this one right up the middle before being taken down at about the 28-yard line.
So Stanger now, a couple runs.
Tim Fairman on the tackle.
And Sievers now coming back in. And it is interesting, they really haven't had Sievers run it a whole lot, to the point where when he comes out, you kind of know the other guy's going to be running it.
And all year long, York kind of relied on Sievers on the ground. We even asked Coach Tom Van Hout about that this morning, and they prepared for it and haven't really needed to spy him too much in this game. Now
Absolutely.
He is scrambling.
Sievers gets this throw out. That one is complete for the first down.
Sievers pass is complete to Carter Stanger.
And he gets that one to Stanger, but we do have another flag on the play. And holding call this one on the defense, however. So the Dukes do get the first down pickup. Sievers, we really haven't seen him throw it much, hasn't had a lot of opportunities, but we've seen him work well into pressure a few times now. Obviously, those 2 interceptions, just frankly rough throws from him, not the smartest calls, but a lot of these 10-yard passes on the run with a guy running at him, a lot of pinpoint accuracy from him. Showcased his abilities tonight, but just not enough times. Only a few plays that he has to show for it. Referees still discussing here as the clock is stopped at 9:44. Finally getting the call, and it is a defensive holding.
On the Cougars.
Yeah, and Joey, we kind of expected a more balanced offense from this York team coming into this one. But they've primarily ran the ball in this one. Have had a little success on the deep throw just a couple times in this game, but have yet to put points on the board.
Absolutely, and that was the first thing you said about the Dukes today, is how balanced their offense is. Almost 1,300 yards for Sievers in the air. And here he is on second down, the handoff up the middle. That's a first down and more. Going into the end zone is Marshall McCarthy, the first points of the night for the Dukes. McCarthy, the senior back, only getting a few carries tonight, but taking this one up the middle in for 6.
Yeah, and that kind of makes you wonder there if they should have been handing it off to McCarthy earlier in the evening, as they are able to get on the board for the first time.
He's making the most of his carries. And right now for the PAT, Garrett Ivy. Ivy's kick off the left post. This one is no good. It remains a 42-6 game.
No good. Cougars 42, Duke 6.
So 9:22 to go in the fourth quarter. The Dukes do get on the board. The touchdown run to McCarthy. Extra point no good here from Garrett Ivy. 42-6 is your score.
Yeah, and how about this Gross defense? You give up the first score of the game here in this fourth quarter. We talk about the offense all the time, but you also have to give credit to this outstanding Cougars defense.
I mean, it's rare you see a team that's given up 8 points a game for the season. It's frankly unheard of, especially the turnaround, giving up 30 points a game last year.
And also Thomas Gilbert defensively tonight has been outstanding at that defensive end position.
Yeah,
It's been tough to deal with for this Dukes offensive line.
He has been the name we've been saying a lot on defense for these Cougars. Garrett Ivy ready to kick this one away. Goes for the short kick here. Bounced and picked up just shy of the 20-yard line. Looking to take this up the middle. Brought down a few yards short of the 30. That's K.O. Rempe. We do have a man down for the Dukes. Seth Erickson, one making the tackle.
Yeah, and Erickson, he is down on the turf. Never like to see that.
Not a good sign when you see the teammates getting down, kneeling next to him this early.
Yeah, and the crowd has gone silent here, Joey.
Still not sure who the player on the ground is right now. Hoping everything is all right. See him starting to sit up. That is Emmanuel Jensen, junior for him. He is now up and standing, getting a round of applause from the entire stadium.
Yeah, and that's the sportsmanship you like to see, Joey, both sides. Especially from Gross, down on their knees, respecting the player down on the ground, and the fans cheering when he gets up. Always like to see that.
Yep, a concerning sight for a minute there, because you saw pretty much no movement from anyone, both sidelines taking a knee. But good to see him walking off right now. Play getting ready to resume. So this possession for the Cougars will be starting at the 29-yard line. So here's the Cougar offense. Handoff up the middle. So at quarterback right now, number 7 for the Cougars.
Yeah, now a chance for some of these second stringers to get some action on there, Joey. Always like to see that.
Absolutely.
A little bit of the future talent out there.
Always a great circumstance to be in. Having that big lead, a lot of room here. The handoff on second down, really nothing to show for it though. Taken down right about at the line of scrimmage, maybe picking up a yard on that play.
Okay, by number 40, Carson Kojal.
And that was Carson Kojal on the carry.
Tackled by Jalen Kruger.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and 5 here for the Cougars. Duke's going to look to get this stop, just try and get some more points on the board in this game. Now 8 minutes to play in this one. In shotgun formation. The handoff here for Kozel. Nowhere to go, taken down behind the line.
Carson Kozel is the ball carrier.
So we'll see the punting team come out for the first time this game for the Cougars.
Brings up 4th down for the Cougars, 5 yards to go.
And you know, I was trying to get a name as to who the quarterback is right now for the Cougars. But we do not have a number 7 on our roster, so this is the fun game to play of who is under center.
That is right. I was looking for it myself, couldn't find it.
Cougars punting this one away. It's a high and short punt. Bouncing and going out of bounds right around the 43-yard line. So after the touchdown on the previous drive, Dukes are going to look to pick up right where they left off. And it was Marshall McCarthy getting the touchdown on that previous drive.
And what a season for Gross so far, Joey. We talk about all the accolades, 10-0 on the season and looking good here once again. They've done it on the ground. Colby Duncan's done it with his feet, but this defense also, as I was saying, always gets overlooked, but playing a great game once again, and they're key to this success as well.
Absolutely. We do have a timeout called by York with 6.5 minutes to play. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And this was a team that going into the year, it was clear that they had offensive talent. You know, Jake Garcia was coming off a big year, but I don't think anybody expected success to this level. A 10-0, about to be 11-0 start to the year, going into the state semifinals. I mean, they have looked as dominant as anybody in Class B.
Yeah, this is going to be a hard squad to stop, especially when this rushing game gets going. That offensive line starts blocking. And no matter who they play next, they're going to have some trouble.
Absolutely. Again, matchup right now going on between Scottsbluff and Scott right now. And a high snap here, hard to field. Loose ball looks to be picked up by the Dukes. At quarterback right now, Brooks Loosevelt, the sophomore.
Keenan Dirks picks the ball up. It's 2nd down for the Dukes.
So that'll make it a 2nd and 18. Trying to get an update on the Scott and Scottsbluff game. Last update we have 19-0 as of 53 minutes ago, a Scottsbluff lead. Not sure what the score is right now, but looking very likely that we would see a 2 versus 3 matchup. We see the misdirection here, the pitch back, getting this ball just shy of the 40-yard line will bring up a 3rd and long here. In Scottsbluff, if they can get this victory against Scott, they will move to 10-1 on the season.
It brings up 3rd down.
And that game will be played here next Friday. So 3rd and 14, ball at the 41-yard line. 5 minutes to play here at Omaha Bryan. So Brooke Loosevelt in shotgun. Another high snap. Loosevelt able to pick this one up, trying to still get a throw off. He rolls around. He might just try and keep this one himself. A couple big hits there. He goes down at the 40. Might have gotten back to the line. Looked to go down for a loss of 1.
Yeah, an unfortunate high snap there for the Dukes. 2 plays in a row, and it turned out to be costly there on that one. Couldn't really make anything happen in the air.
And just an unfortunate situation if you're the backup quarterback coming in. You're looking to get some opportunities to kind of show off what you're capable of, prove yourself, but not a whole lot you can do, and you get a couple of high snaps going your way. So Ryan Sievers back out looking to punt this one away. Now just 4 minutes to go. 4th and 14. A low snap on this one. Sievers picks it up. Going to try and get it off, but he can't do it. Throws this one up, and that one is intercepted. Going out of bounds inside the 20. Another stop from the special teams. This special teams has forced turnovers all season long, and they're just adding to the list.
Yeah, and that just displays right there, Joey, the all-around quality football that this Cougars team plays. It doesn't matter if it's the offensive end, the defensive end, even on special teams, applying pressure there on the high snap. Nothing for Sievers to do. Tried to throw it up and turns it over on the throw.
Yeah, that throw batted up and then picked off by Nate Picard. So this drive will start at the 20-yard line. Still number 7 here at quarterback. Shotgun formation. The handoff on first down. Only a gain of a couple. And that was Nate Picard on the carry after getting the interception. Only credited with a yard on that play. Just over 2 minutes to play here. Altogether, just a dominant performance for the Cougars, led by Jake Garcia. 5 rushing touchdowns in the first half, then in the third quarter getting the receiving touchdown. Here's the handoff on second. Looks to get this ball to maybe the 17-yard line. So it'll bring up a 3rd and long here as Picard gets a gain of 1 on the second down carry.
Always good to see these guys get some snaps. It's a great experience, as we are saying, for next year. And even if they're expected to come into the game with any kind of unfortunate injury. But Coach Tom Van Hout, he talked about this morning. One key to success, he said, was the health of this team has allowed for huge success.
And nothing to do there. The defensive line all over him on the 3rd down carry. He goes down for a loss at the 20-yard line. That'll bring up a 4th and 10 here for the Cougars. Now 1 minute to play in this game. That clock continues to tick. And yeah, talking about the younger guys getting in, you look at this team, a lot of these big players are seniors. So they're going to have a lot of roster turnover to deal with next season. Now, it is worth mentioning guys like Colby Duncan, he's still a junior, so they'll have him for 1 more year, but Garcia going to be the big absence on next year's team. So with 30 seconds, they go for it on 4th down. The pitch back, Picard able to pick up a few. He will be stopped well before getting the first down. Gets this one to the 17-yard line. With 20 seconds left, we have the turnover on downs. I don't imagine we will see another play. We'll see if the offense comes out for the Dukes. And it looks like that will do it. With 10 seconds left, that clock keeps rolling. So your final score will be 42-6. A major Cougars win, another blowout victory. Like we said, we weren't expecting the Cougars to just jump on them in the fashion that they did. A huge night. Jake Garcia, 6 total touchdowns, 5 coming on the ground in the opening half, and then the 1 receiving touchdown. What impressed you the most about the Cougars in the night's victory?
I would have to say on the defensive end, Joey, you know, we know what the offense is capable of, but got to hand it to the defense. This is a good York offense. They've been all year, only losing 3 games. Very balanced offense, a good quarterback in Ryan Sievers, and they completely shut that offense down, only holding them to 6 points the entire game. So you really got to hand it to the defense in this one.
Absolutely. We expected Sievers to be a big issue. This offense tried out some misdirection plays, tried to catch him off guard early, but really, the second they saw what this defense had to offer, effort. They seemed discombobulated from the start. Didn't really know how to form a solid offensive strategy. All they had to show were the 6 points coming from that touchdown from Marshall McCarthy. Really just nothing to show after a dominant performance from both the offensive and defensive end from the Cougars. And when we talked to Coach Van Hout today, I asked him what side of the field he expected to see it coming from. And you know what he said? He said he wanted to see it from both sides. That's exactly what we saw. Even the special teams coming in with the interception late in this game.
Yeah,
so
it's an outstanding performance. We've seen it all year. And I'm saying, Joey, this is going to be a really, really tough team going into the semifinals.
Absolutely. So we will be back here next Friday for the semifinals. They will face the winner of Scottsbluff and Scott. Again, last update we have was a 19-0 lead for Scottsbluff. They are the 3 seed, sporting a 9-1 record. So most likely that is the matchup we'll see next week. It should be a very fun one. We hope you tune in then. We want to thank our producers, our cameramen, and everyone who made this possible. We thank you all for tuning in. This is Joey Kirkland, Austin Ulmer, signing off.